Good evening, everybody. Well, it's really very cold outside. It didn't even get out of the 20s here in Greensboro today. When I got up this morning, my water was froze up. It has since thawed. Joe came down and wrapped a pipe. There was a pipe that was exposed, so hopefully it won't freeze anymore. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about prednisone and the effects of prednisone. Prednisone is a steroid. I became sick, what started out with the flu, on the 31st of December 2013. So on January the 1st, New Year's Day, I ended up in the hospital, in the emergency room. I couldn't breathe. I had the flu, upper respiratory infection. I was diagnosed after that with COPD. I already have heart failure. I was a mess. So, I was prescribed an inhaler and some prednisone. At first, they wanted me to take prednisone for 3 days. Just 3 days. Never taken it before. Had really never really heard anything about it, So I took it. On the 4th, I ended up back in the emergency room because I wasn't getting any better. It just seemed like I was getting worse. So they wanted to extend my prednisone for another week. So, picked up the prescription for that, continued to take my prednisone, like it said. Went to the doctor's office a week later. She wanted to continue for another 10-day period on the prednisone. Went back, picked up the prescription, and had been taking them, but it didn't dawn on me until probably 4 or 5 days ago that I didn't seem, my breathing is better. I can breathe. I don't have to use my inhaler all the time. Now I can just use it when needed, and haven't had to use it in 2 days. But as far as all my other medication, of course I take medication for heart failure too, so I'm taking a lot of medication. My body has never been one to take medication very well. I remember when I was younger, I used to take Pepto for an upset stomach and I would throw it up. I took no dose one time to stay awake and I slept the whole night. Just Geritol one time to give me a little boost of energy, and it drugged me down for 2 days. So it seems like my body always has an adverse reaction to any kind of medication. But I got a text. Hang on a minute. Anyway, so about a week ago, back several days ago, I discovered that it was becoming more increasingly hard for me to climb the steps to get up the patio, And then when I would go down the patio steps, it was like my legs were almost weightless, like they weren't really there. And I thought, well, how odd. And then it got to the point where coming up the patio steps, even without anything in my hand, I had to literally come up steps like an old woman, one step at a time, and hang on to the banister. And I'm still having to do that. And I happened to mention that the other day. I said, I cannot believe that I'm just getting weaker every day. And then it dawned on me, it has to be the prednisone. So I put it out on Facebook and some other sites, and people have been talking about it. And then I looked it up, and yeah, I do have a lot of the side effects that people talk about. So if the doctor I'll go back Friday for testing, then they're going to do some lab work and some blood work. But if they say they want to continue my prednisone, I'm going to ask what my alternatives would be on that, because I can't do this anymore. I can't do this. I had become so weak. Like I said, it was hard getting up and down the steps. Yesterday, I was going to sit here and eat my dinner, and it took everything in me to pick up that fork and feed myself. I get what I call kaleidoscope eyes. You know how, like, if you do like this and then open your eyes and you get all those colors. If I'm sitting here very long, that's what happens. And I'm sure that's because my blood pressure's up, even though I take blood pressure medication. Prednisone, that's another side effect. It makes your blood pressure go up. So I'm on my blood pressure medication, but I think it's still raising my blood pressure. I get the kaleidoscope eyes. I got to put my head down to ease that up. And then when I get up and walk, I'm weak. I get exhausted. I have to sit back down. I go to bed at nighttime. I go to sleep pretty good. But I'll wake up about 11 o'clock at night, and then I'll suffer from insomnia. I can't go back to sleep till like 2 o'clock in the morning. I'll just lay there awake. Literally cannot sleep. One of the side effects, they say, is increased appetite. I've not had an increased appetite. As a matter of fact, I think I'm eating less now than I did before I ever got sick. I've lost like 15 pounds since the first of the year. I've not gained any of it back, even though I'm taking the prednisone. I've not gained any weight back. And I sound, to me, I think I sound hoarse. That could be because of my inhaling. But no, I don't like these side effects of prednisone. Then I was reading about them and watching some YouTube videos about them, and some people say that once you stop using prednisone, that, the side effects will subside, and sometimes it takes a couple of months. I can't do this for a couple of months. This is crazy. I have never, in all my years on planet Earth, ever felt like this before. Ever felt like that I'm just in a bottomless barrel and I can't claw my way back up to the top. It's like I'm just... Oh, another thing it does, I've always been prone to having weird dreams anyway. All my life I've had weird dreams. But ever since I've been taking these steroids, I've been having really, really bizarre dreams. Just... And in my dreams, I'm always alone, but yet I'm surrounded by big mounds of just flesh. Just big mounds of flesh just surrounding me. But I'm alone, and it's always dark, and that's all I see is that flesh, and it's dark, and it's just really, really weird. When I first started taking them, I was very emotional. I'm a very strong person. Emotionally, I'm very strong. But when I first started taking these, I cried every day, sometimes all day long. I would just fall apart at the drop of a hat, just cry. And sometimes I would sit here and I would say to myself, Cindy, what are you crying for? I remember telling my son at one point my life was over. I said, my life is over. I'm done. And he just sort of laughed, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's that medicine you're taking. And so I've come to realize, prednisone has done some wicked shit to me. I don't see how some of these people can take it for years at a time. Of course, it probably has a different effect on them, and more likely doesn't bother them the way that it does me. But all I know is I can't wait to be done with it. And if a doctor ever suggests I take it again, I'm going to have to ask that doctor. I want to know what my alternatives are, because I'm not walking that path again. No, I can't do it. Just don't want to do it. So anyway, have you ever taken prednisone? And what are some of your side effects? Did you have any side effects? And until next time, bye-bye.